me, I work here at Mother Scott's, but I'm always open for an interview as far as another job and everything. I recently moved here to Milwaukee from Chicago. Been up here for about 2 months now. And, I do a lot of volunteer work around the community, hoping to land, a decent job. Well, basically, I help around the kitchen. I take in donations. And, I do a lot of janitorial service work as far as cleaning up, make sure everything is organized and, set up for breakfast in the morning. It's real cool, man. It gives me something to do, with my time. I'm always try to help out in the community. I'm a veteran and I do a lot of volunteer work around the hospitals and stuff like that. A lot of times being so hard and people's out of work, that's a step in the right direction,
Earl Buford, I'm the president and CEO of the Wisconsin Regional Training Partnership Big Step Collaboration. First and foremost, creating meaningful job and career pathway opportunities for individuals and families. The backbone of this community, backbone of the industry in Milwaukee is based on labor, individual willpower, strength, and commitment to work and raise their family. And the fact that we're able to work with the industry and in the community in the way that we do helps create those pathways and meaningful job opportunities that'll lead to family-sustaining jobs. Well, I would say anyone who works here is committed to the cause. It is a cause. I mean, when it comes to, again, finding meaningful pathways into good opportunities, most of us are here because of our experiences, and those experiences, in one way or another, have been shaped by our own family, our own individual opportunities that came from programs or initiatives or good companies like that we deal with here. So it's I think we live it. I think it is what we do. So the fact that you take like-minded people who have a similar cause, although we may have different ways of interpreting or doing that and looking at it, it all comes down to the common denominator, which is how do we help connect people to good opportunities and good work and good jobs. I always want to understand how policy came together and how to advocate for those policies, either for positive policy or react against not such good policy. So that was always a strong point from my undergrad academic days. So you take that along with the mission of how do you help people, how to use policy to help, how to use resources to help. It just, again, while my career route wasn't exactly planned to follow the path that's on now, that mission from the beginning, and then the use of the skills that I acquired in my education, just was a natural marriage. Teaming that with my personal beliefs, so I feel quite lucky to be in this seat and working these organizations, doing the things that we're doing and things we hope to do. And at some point, I'd like to have a bigger role in how policy is shaped, especially around workforce development, economic development, public sector, private sector, all that comes together in a meaningful, connected way. So there's still a lot of work to be done.
What's your name?
Mark Phillips. I'm a tutor here with the Big Step program. Basically help people get their basic scores up or basic skills up to take the Accuplacer test for entrance into various apprenticeship trades, be it plumbers, electricians, what have you. Work with people on math, algebra, reading, sentence skills or English, mechanical and spatial skills necessary to gain access to union apprenticeships in the building and construction trades.
Your job?
The coolest part about my job is that I actually help people do something with themselves. And the most rewarding part for me personally is Well, it's twofold. One, I get to work with people that want to be here. It's not people that feel like maybe let me see about this or that. They've tried other things and they've been other places and they realize that they need to be here. They tried it, maybe they came up short or they want to get more information about it, so they come here seeking to gain something and they want to be here. So it's a totally different dynamic in the clientele that we serve than most social service agencies. The second part of it is that I'm a journeyman plumber by trade, member of Plumbers Local 75 here in Milwaukee. Been with the union 7 years now, and I've actually seen people that I've worked with here at Big Step out on the construction site, and it's really rewarding to know that my efforts have assisted in someone moving on to that next step with their life and being able to really see it. It's one thing to have somebody come back and be like, hey, here's my test scores, I passed, which is actually what we work with them primarily, but to see that not only did they pass, but they started their apprenticeship and they're actually out in the field working, and I get to see them with my own eyes. It's pretty awesome. To me, it's a way of giving back to the community. For me, when I got into the trades, I was looking at just making a change. I was really frustrated in the job I was in at the time, and since then, I've grown and learned and developed a tremendous amount of skill and knowledge, and to the point where I can do things on my own and I'm functional, where I can actually help other people out answering questions or actually doing work. And it just is totally different from a lot of work where you're talking about it. Here you're actually doing it, and the rubber hits the pavement here. And being able to help people gain that aspect of the job and bring my knowledge of the actual work in the field to this organization and agency makes it more rewarding for me too, because people truly appreciate it and respect it.
With WRTP Big Step, I coordinate, I'm training manager, I guess, and then I coordinate the trainings, and then I also am the director of Triad Employment Services. I mean, there's a lot of great memories with, people that, when they get their first job or their first placement, or, when I was working in hospitality and we were able to raise the wages for housekeepers up to $8 from $6.50. That was a pretty great memory, and that's probably one of my favorite memories with Eric. So I think there's several reasons why it's important. I think one is that it opens doors for people that maybe might not have been open before. They didn't know they were open, making people aware of opportunities. It is helping to get labor management to work together. I think that's been a huge thing in our community. We're a very industrial city, and the changes and the things that we've done to help labor management work together positively has been good. And I think, most importantly, it gives people a chance. And the people that we see come in here that take advantage of that opportunity and make a difference in their lives and in their families' lives, that's why we're important. That's why we're here. And it's not always easy. Sometimes it can get pretty jaded by some of the poor choices that people make, but in the long run, you hold on to the successes, and really, those are the ones that are why we do what we do.
What I do here, I'm an industry coordinator for WRTP Big Step. What I do is I work with a lot of employers and unions and how to access various resources to either enhance the skills of their incumbent workers, or for pre-employment training for new workers coming into their facilities or into the construction field. Work with assisted employment training coordinators and helping find individuals that can meet the qualifications for employers. Work with Carrie and our Triad staffing company in securing contracts with companies to provide people for their facilities, and then also helping assist and find the people that can fill those orders. So, and whatever else they ask me, even once in a while, I even have to sweep the floor up too. Yeah, I'm part of the Machinist Local 2110, and I'm also president of Local 2110. Yes, I came out of working for, it started out to be called International Harvester. They changed their name to Navistar. Now their name is Pro Power Technologies, a division of Navistar. I worked there for 25 years and was 30 years. I was a member of the steelworker union. It's very important. One, it helps people in the community access family supporting jobs within in the southeast part of the state and hopefully in the whole state. Two, it helps companies find skilled people to fill their job openings, or helps them upgrade the skills of their current workers. It's an integral part of the community in that it has all the it's a one-stop center if you want to come in and find out to get your skills assessed, to upgrade your skills, variety of things, looking for employment. It's so important to the community. It's hard to describe everything it does because WRTP Big Step do so much. As I was working with a machine shop in Racine, and this is some years back, and went into the machine shop, and it was a non-union facility, and I met with the owners, and we went around about. They were having difficulty placing people in employment there, and they wanted to recruit through us to do some training, and we started to work with them. And he still had a hard time. We still had a hard time placing any individuals there, and the reason is that they were actually a low-paying shop. I thought my fondest memory is what I have to say is I went in there and I sat down, and they asked me the question and said, "Why is it so difficult for us to recruit?" And I said, "Well, because the cousins across the street pays more money than you do," which it did. It paid about $2 an hour more to go make a submarine sandwich at cousins than it did to work in a screw machine factory. And they actually went and raised up their wage structure for entry-level employees so we could help place people there. And I stated to them that if they're going to raise it for the entry level, they should raise it for the current employees, and so they did. So everybody in the facility got a raise. That was one of my fondest memories. I thought, for being actually a non-union facility, we were able to go in and help them all get a raise there. It was a group that we did some training with AT&T for pre-employment too, and once they were employed at AT&T making a very good wage. That year I got about 6 different Christmas cards from individuals telling me how great it was to actually have a paycheck that could go out buy Christmas gifts for their kids, pay for their rent, put food on their table, and that they were so happy for WRTP Big Step that helped them be able to do that. And that is very gratifying. It's humbling.
Well, my name is Randy Berth, and I think I'm currently the Associate Director here at WRTP Big Step. And what do? I think mostly I try to fill the gaps, working with the industry, with employers and unions in the community, and try to find what's the missing piece of the workforce development system so that we can have new partners and develop new projects and meet the needs of our employers, our unions, and our community. Two things come to mind. One is being invited by the White House and meeting with, at that time, Vice President Al Gore, as we were honored as highlighted, I should say, as one of the better projects in the country of the work that we do. And the second thing, I think it'd be more a participant story. And one of my favorites is a gal who was really pretty down on her luck, and they were ready to amputate her leg because she was an alcoholic and a diabetic, and she got arrested for a felony and got put in prison and basically turned her life around. So she went from, where I was just talking to, she just became a journeyman bricklayer who runs up and down steps and is helping to support her mother and is looking to start a shelter for other women getting out of prison so that they have a career when they get done. And that it seems like we're always hearing from the employers that we can't find qualified workers, and we're always hearing from the community we can't find good jobs. And so our role is to try to not replicate what's out there, but to tap into what's currently out there and connect the missing piece of what's already out there, so that over the years we'll hear less about not finding qualified workers and people will know where the good jobs are.